What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel Shotgun Shogun, and I have been testing out Elphelt for the last couple of hours. I've spent copious amounts of gold moving things around, trying out different builds. I tried out the bottom anchor CR pushed Elphelt. I tried out a super fast Elphelt, and I tried out a mid-range Elphelt, and then I tried out a meme Melfelt. Elphelt. Melfelt. Anyways, regardless, I did a bunch of numbers. Now I want you to make sure that you understand that I don't have more than 3 skills up in her, and I put those into her S4. One of the things that you're going to have to remember is if you are going to be building her, you absolutely have to get +4 into her S3. Now, she does work very well with a tag hells, which I brought because I just wanted to make sure that I had that. She does have a decent amount of effectiveness on her in every one of these scenarios, but I just wanted to make sure that I took that RNG out, so that way I didn't have to try many runs to guarantee that we got this. All of these fights are kind of in a vacuum with, different testings. And actually one of the big things that I kind of took away from this is Arius plus Adamant Shield. OP. Like literally just run, it cuts like 10k damage down from her S2 in certain situations. Her skill priority would be +4 in her S3 and then immediately dump everything into her S2. Now I have seen a lot of people running like 0% crit chance. Honestly, I don't think that that's always the best option. If you have the chance to get the crit, then that's just going to make your S3 into your S2 a lot stronger. I actually think that one of the best builds is to have her follow up Dizzy. It's absolutely disgusting. Now, we did try this on Basar's, Alencia's earlier in the slower one. Obviously, if we do the fast or mid-range, it's not going to one-shot Alencia in the situations that we put her into, so I ruled Alencia out, because obviously if you're running Adamant Shield and Arius, then you're not going to kill an Alencia or a Rowana or a grass tank with a mid-range or a fast setup, and realistically you shouldn't be considering, you shouldn't think that way anyways, because what fast 300 speed unit is going to one-shot an Alencia, even through defense break, obviously with the Adamant Shield and Arius. But let's get into the fights. I will talk about everything immediately after and give you my rundown of everything with her and where I think that she should be in terms of your priority for pulling.
It is the last madness. Oh, bye bye. losing to us is an honor.
私に委ねていいよね、ネクロ。
Okay, so now that we're back and all of those are out of the way, let's talk a little bit about some of those fights. Now, the very fast one, I did bring a mixture of my assassin Sid as well as my Falconeer Quarry gear. Now, I could get her a lot faster, but as you could see, if they're running a Basar that is either very, very tanky, which is kind of not usually the case, or if they're running behind an Arius or an Adamant Shield. Obviously, if you take both of them out of the equation, then you are going to you're going to have a bit easier of a time, but you're also going to have a good amount of extra damage if you do skill up her skills. Obviously, on her S2, I would have 45% more damage, which is 45% more damage. Now, a lot of people did in the comment section before were like, can you do this without attack buff? Can you do this without Song of Stars? It's really better to kind of look at what the optimal situation is. Obviously, if you're going to push her with Oxlots or something along those lines, in almost every single situation, you are going to want to improve her attack, right? So you're going to want to attack buff up. So that is the Goldilocks zone. Do take into account that, like I said, a lot of these were done in a vacuum, and as such, things can occur. Sometimes you're not going to crit on the S3 doing more damage. There were a couple times that I actually crit on the S3 and deleted my target, meaning that I had to do the run all over again. So one of the builds that I actually really did like was the one that I'm currently running right now, and that was the one with that you followed up Dizzy with, right? So you're rocking what, 6 debuffs on that, and the thing with modifiers that work off of insert X whatever. Here, I'll get out of the way of the stats here. So one of the things with the modifiers that work off of insert whatever or does more damage based on whatever, most of those are more multiplicative with critical hit damage. So you can go a little bit lower on the attack and increase your critical hit damage, and that's going to give you a lot more overall. Now, as you can see, this is a 97% effectiveness build. If I wanted to take the tag hells out and leave everything up to chance and run maybe a 2-piece crit set or whatever other pieces that I have here that would give me more crit damage or crit chance or attack in lieu of the effectiveness, I very much could. If you're looking at hitting targets that really don't often rock a lot of effect resist, you can get away with this and increase your damage even more. But I do think that having at least like 100% is really good. Now, you can forego attack main stat ring in favor of effectiveness, and then that's pretty much all of the effectiveness that you're going to need with the base 50 with the base 30%. Then you add that on if you do have any imprints, which I did triple S, so spoiler for when the video for that comes out, because I've been more focused on doing this. Now, somebody's going to come into the comments and say, well, why would you run Elphelt when you could run insert this unit or insert this unit or insert that unit? Well, here's the thing, is she's very versatile, right? So you can either run her fast to put the Basar to sleep. You don't always have to follow up on that unit. Do I think that making sure that that it's dead is good, absolutely, but it is also asleep, right? So you can just put that Basar to sleep, and now he lost a turn, and you can just put unbuffable on somebody else with your S1, do some damage, follow up at the end. If you're sniping a unit with her, because she is going to be fast, right? So you just pretty much walked all the way through the turns, and you're probably going to get a turn before their Basar again. So the damage that you did to that Basar, you could easily come back through, cut him with a S2. Immunity sets are going to be gone. That's going to put defense buff or defense down on everybody else, right? So that is an option there. I think a lot of people are thinking, well, I have to kill somebody with the S1 or S3 into S2. You can use that as a CC, right? Sleep as long as you don't hit him, and he's gonna lose his turn, and then he's going to wake up. Sure, you lose out on the 100% crit, but he lost out on a turn, which is going to be exponentially more important, and you, like I said, you're going to eventually follow back up, right? So that's really good. That's a one way to build her with the speed sets. Now you can push her forward. People be like, well, why would I do that? Because she has an unconditional 2 turns, right? You could run her as an Arbiter Vildred killer. You could run her as a Charles deleter. You could run her as a Lencia deleter, depending on if they obviously have an adamant shield, right? So you can use her to follow up on things. And then the best part about that is if she does kill them, she's going to put defense down on everybody else. And that's really, really huge, because that's going to mean that anybody following up after her is going to be just getting absolutely wrecked. So you could run a, let's say, Oxlot C-Dom, Elphelt, and insert whatever cleaver you want, right? Now, is she going to push C-Dom as fast as, like, let's say a Flitica or something like that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, one of the nice things about her S3, right, is that if you're hitting an ML Ken, can't counterattack when he slept. Charles can't pop off with the Elbrus counterattack S1 into S2 into another S2, because that's just how Charles works. No, they're asleep. So a lot of people I saw were like, oh man, you're going to just, what if you get hit with the counter attack? Well, you don't. Now, if you're hitting another target, you do open yourself up to the Elbrus. So running an immunity set, or running maybe a DJ Basar right before her to give her immunity of some sort, or what you can do, boom, SC Ross, defense break, unbuffable with her S1. She's got defense immunity. She's going to get up there eventually. And then boom, there's a lot of options out there. And I think a lot of people just kind of pigeonhole just specific things, right? And if it doesn't work as good as insert other unit, well, it's bad. She is actually really, really solid. She does take a very high gear level, obviously, but as you can see, like on here, I don't even have all of my gear maxed out to 90. A lot of this is kind of somewhat weird gear, right? Like, it does have some effectiveness on it. It's 2 hit sets. I did slow her down in this build just to go after Dizzy. My Dizzy's not fast because she's got a completely different build, and I didn't want to completely shift all of my gear over to make her a fast Dizzy, to go, let's say, after like setup you could do is like Athletica, Dizzy, Elphelt. You could do Athletica, Dizzy, Bike, and Elphelt, and it's because you're going to be pushing forward. As long as you have like a team-wide CR pusher and an attack buff, I think that you're going to be perfectly fine. You could do Flitica Rose, Dizzy Elphelt. That would be ridiculous, because you're going to get the CR push, you're going to get the attack up. They're already stuck behind Dizzy debuffs. Their immunity was stripped. You've got both CR pushes, right? So chances are, regardless of how slow your Elphelt is, there's no way that you're not going to go between Flitica and Rose, right? You don't need C-Dom in this case. And then afterwards, you don't really have to worry about following up anybody not critting on the follow-up after. So when she gets a turn again, At this point, she's going to have 100% crit for following up on that. So there's a lot of different options for her. Do I think that she is as meta breaking as Seaside Belle or Dizzy when she first came out? No, I don't. I think that she's very strong. She's going to need a high level of gear and play. She's going to counter Charles very hard. Almost any set that you can run, she's going to probably counter Charles pretty hard. She does have the natural 50% miss, from Basar, right? So even if their Basar outspeeds you, chances are you're probably not going to get pushed back and debuffed, right? So you can still follow up, still kill a Charles, don't matter. If you're fast-ish. I do think, though, that she is not the best opener. If you're just trying to take care of a fast Basar or their Oxlots or whatever, I don't think that she is the best opener, but team her up with a Flitica with her artifact on, so you can even have defense break before you even go into the S3. And if you do build for crit, that's just going to mean you're going to be doing even more damage with your S3 into your S2. And then that should take out pretty much anybody, right? So I think that is probably the best course of action. I wouldn't focus too much on attack because, like I said, her S2 scales with debuffs. As such, that modifier is going to scale better with C damage. Is why you don't build attack on Alencia, because Alencia deals damage based on her HP scaling. So it does damage based on her HP. So this does damage based on the amount of debuffs, and it's pretty huge, actually. It's 15% extra. So the modifier for S2 is 0.85. If you hit somebody with the S2 and 1, you don't crit, 2, they don't have any debuffs on them or defense down, it is pretty bad. It's real bad. But why would you use your S2 in that situation, right? So if you are just using your S3 to CC, you're going to save your S2 for later, right? So that just makes sense. Unless you can guarantee a kill with the S3 into S2, I feel like you want to just hold on to it, defense down somebody else, and then go from there. So she's going to take a little bit of, IQ to play, right? You can't just brain dead this thing. Like I said, you are going to have to +4 this. You do need to get to the 100%. No questions asked. Like, if you are going to run this unit, you +4 this. Absolutely. This is the first thing you +4. Unfortunately, Alencia ate my Molagora packs, so rip Elphelt, you're going to be in limbo for a hot minute. Now, after that, yeah, you just go straight S2. S2 is going to be your important one, and then afterwards you follow up with S3, obviously. I would even say, you're probably pretty good once you get down to +3 for the effect chance at 75%. So that is pretty much, in my opinion, and like I said, Song of Stars is pretty much required on her, because you're going to strip, you're going to put all the debuffs on, you're going to put target. That right there is going to be +3. Even if you are just trying to open on somebody, right? Even later on, if you S3 into S2, you would have extra debuffs on them potentially. You'd also have target and stuff like that. So she's going to be hard countered by people, obviously, who put up debuff immunity, but she does strip on her S3. If you are using her for mid-range or damage, Fallen Cecilia Shield's not going to be able to stop this from being able to do that. Not only that, but chances are you're going to open up with Dizzy, who, again, like I said, anybody who inflicts a ton of debuffs that she doesn't inflict is going to be perf, absolutely phenomenal. That's why, actually, like, if you can get a bunch of bleeds on a Baiken, right, put it on their tank, follow up with her, that's just going to do so much more damage. Now, usually you don't have to, but a fast open Baiken can easily set up an Elphelt for a lot of damage. Although most people's Baiken is just relegated to Banshee 13, right? Feels bad, man. So overall, do I think that Elphelt is, meta breaking, meta defining? Not particularly. Does she do things that a lot of other units can't do? Yes. Is she a fun kit to run? Absolutely. Super fun. I like the synergy between her with other debuffers and strippers and stuff like that. So like you can run, like I said, an Alencia, Flitica. You're going to be wanting to strip out those debuffs or those buffs and the immunity early, inflict a bunch, and then just go to town. You can also run, you can run your Dizzy on Violin just to make sure that you're cutting those out. So yes, is she poo-poos? No, absolutely not. Anybody who can look at her and see how she's used in synergy with other units and still say that she is absolute garbage and not worth a pull, okay, I guess. Like, whatever you need to do to sleep at night. Do I think that you should pull her over Dizzy? No, Dizzy's obviously going to be much, much more stronger. She's much more versatile, and just crazy good. But Elphelt is easily up there. A lot of people I saw were just like, well, she's just a counter. She's not a counter unit, unless that you want to put in a counter Charles unit. I think that even a fast one is going to be able to drop a lot of Charles, right? Because, if they are built tanky, they're probably not doing a ton of damage. But if they're built for damage, you should be able to just straight shred through them. So anyways, guys, that's me I did a ton of testing on Elphelt. Am I going to be running her right now? Absolutely not. Not until I get the Molagoras to finish out her S3. Even then, afterwards, I might run her in Guild Wars as soon as I can do that. Molagora problems still prevalent. Anyways, guys, if you did like this and you're not subscribed yet, as always, hit the subscribe button. I do appreciate it. But if you don't want to, you know what? Don't do it. I'm not your real dad, but I could be your fake dad if you want to. But when you do hit the subscription bell, notification bell, hit that too. And, let me know down below. Do you like these things? I do kind of like the mathing, right? Because now that we can set things up in scenarios in mock battles, it's just so much easier to go, well, this is how this would work if I fought another person. Obviously, Arena's a bit different. But anyways, let me know down below. Do you still think she's bad? If anything, I think you should still pull for her artifact, because regardless of what other people say, it's going to be stupid busted on Cerise. Expect that video eventually. I'll catch you guys later. Take it easy, homies. Peace.